Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the late start. We were involved with our little one. I see we have that message still pinned there, so let's get rid of that. Welcome to Sunday night is organ music night, and we're looking at a new organ this evening. Now, if we have time, we might look at the other one as well. There are so many exciting new organs in the world of Hauptwerk these days, and this one here, oh my goodness, is quite something. This is absolutely amazing. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a rather wonderful instrument. Now, on Friday night, I treated you to the Oberlinger organ from Bonn-Beuel, from St. Joseph in Bonn, which is my old organ. And I had a wonderful time presenting it. And it was really quite interesting playing that sample set of my own old organ kind of thing. It was really rather weird. In a very positive way, I must say. It was strange sitting here at home, but playing and listening to, you know, an organ 60 kilometers away. It's rather bizarre, but it was wonderful. Ooh, very wonderful indeed. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today, ooh la la, this is an organ that is, well, I'm going to say it's a sister organ to the organ in Bonn. Not because of the pipe work, not because of the sound, not because of the tradition, but because of the console. And if I show you a picture of the console, you probably can't really see that very well. No, you can't see that at all. When I edit this and put it up as a proper video, I'll show you a proper picture of this. The console, this console here, is exactly the same as the new console in Bonn, in St. Joseph in Bonn-Beuel. It's by a company called Gaida, G-A-I-D-A, Gaida. And they basically take your church organ and they basically digitalize it. I think that's a nice way of putting it. They leave all the pipes where they are. They might add some pipes actually, but they leave all the pipes where they are. And then they take all the possibilities of those electrified pipe contacts that they now have, and they turn it into an amazingly complicated synthesizer, basically. So, whereas on a traditional old organ, you would have, this could be your choir manual, or over here in Europe, it would be your grate manual. When I say over here in Europe, I mean mainland Europe, and not that country that calls itself Great Britain, my old home. Anyway, you know that. But this would be, let's say, the great organ, this would be the choir organ, this would be the swell organ, and that might be the solo organ if you have a 4 manual. This new system from this organ is completely different. You can do whatever you want, wherever you want. So if you decide, I want to play the great stops here, then you can do that. You can assign all the stops from the great to this manual, or this manual, or this manual, or this manual. Now, part of the great organ might be divided. You might have a high pressure wind chest, a low pressure wind chest. So you can allocate the high pressure stuff here, the low pressure stuff here, and so on and so on. It gets very complicated. Now, I'm not going to go into any of that tonight. Tonight I am just going to demonstrate parts of this organ and play it because it's wonderful. It's again sampled by the same company we had on Friday night, Pipe Loops. So thank you to Rainer, the boss of Pipe Loops, for giving me this organ to show you. It's absolutely amazing. The organ itself is found in the Pauluskirche, the St. Paul church. Is it St. Paul? Well, let's just say St. Paul. In Ulm. And Ulm is a city down in Bavaria. Is it in Bavaria, or is it in Baden-Württemberg, or is it in both? I think it's in both, isn't it? There's an Ulm and Neu-Ulm, and if I got that wrong, I do apologize. It's in the south of Germany, and it's famous for its Ulm Minster, which is the highest church tower in Europe, or something like that. It's very famous for that. So this church, which I'm guessing is the second biggest church in Ulm, it's also a Protestant church, not a Catholic church. It sort of falls by the wayside a little bit. But this organ, oh my goodness, this organ is quite something. The organ is originally by a company called Link. It was built back in before the First World War. It's a very old instrument, and very beautiful German romantic sounds. And over the years, it's been added to. Various things have been added to it. And then recently, about sort of 8 years ago or something like that, the Gaida company came along and modernized it significantly. And now Pipe Loops have been in there with their fancy microphones, and they have sampled it perfectly. That's the only way to describe it. They've sampled it perfectly, and here we have it for Hauptwerk. Now, actually, let me see. I've got Vanessa is with downstairs. Vanessa might not be with us this evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm on my own here, but let me see if I can do this. Check this out. Oh, this could be fun. Will it work? It worked. Click. Check that out, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the comment I just posted in the old chat there. This is the organ. Oh, for heaven's sake, I'm trying to pin this, but it won't let me pin. Can someone put something in the chat, please? I need it to move up. There's that stupid little heart thing there. I can't get past it. Ooh. Come on, people. Write something in the chat. Anybody, write something in the chat. Say hello. There we go. Thank you very much. Right, now if I take this, why can't I do that? Oh, I can't link it. I can't pin it because it's got a link in it. Why can't I pin it? It's my own chat. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Anyway, I posted it there. I'll post it in the video properly there. Go and check out the site from Pipe Loops and see what you think. It's an amazing instrument, it really is. So we're going to be playing around with it this evening. I'm going to introduce you to some of the fun things in it this evening. For example, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not true, actually. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It has 10 32-foot stop buttons, but it only has one 32-foot stop on the organ. Huh? How does that work? I'll tell you about that in a minute. Very clever. It has so many things. It's so complicated. There's going to be a very detailed video about this organ coming up soon. But for now, we're just going to introduce you to the wonderful and gorgeous sounds. For example, the softest sounds in the organ. If you're listening on headphones, brilliant, because you'll need that for this. I shall speak very quietly. On the second manual, which is the choir manual, well, it's not really the choir manual, it's the second manual. You have these incredibly soft strings, an aeoline and its voix céleste that goes along with it. Isn't that beautiful? It's so soft. Oh, it's so soft. Now, because that manual is enclosed in a box, I can open some shutters at the front. Listen, it gets louder. Ooh, but it's not much quieter, is it? Not much louder, sorry. Very soft, but beautiful. Now, to complement that, on the third manual, I also have a viola with a voix céleste. Much bigger, much more stringy. Isn't that lovely? Luscious, I think, is the word we're looking for. And again, I can open this. Ooh. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely? Theoretically, I could couple those together. I could couple those together, couldn't I? I could do that and couple them together. So I could have my very gentle strings on the second manual, and I've coupled the third manual down with the box closed, which I can now open and get big, warm, stringy sound. That's rather nice, isn't it? Maybe I want to accompany a melody with it. So why don't I use the beautiful harmonic flute from the great organ to do just that? It's very French. So why am I not playing French harmonies? I'm still not playing French harmonies. That'll do. Anyway, isn't that beautiful? Now, on the subject of beautiful flutes, we have on the first manual this beautiful concert flute, which is supposed to sound like a flute in an orchestra. Which it does, rather beautifully. But we have all sorts of different flutes. We have a sort of a big chiffy flute, which could be used for Could be used for something like that. Yeah, big chiffy flute, rather nice. We have all sorts of other flutes. All sorts of flutes all over the place. One of my favorite flutes is something called a flauto amabile. Now I love this because I have, in my organ in Herschbach, where I play now, I have a flauto amabile and they sound pretty much the same. Oh, isn't that lovely? It's a very soft sounding flute. Amabile. Lovely flute. And it works perfectly with the strings, this is something I do in my organ in Herschbach as well. I do this with these strings as well. There's so many stops here, I forget where they all are. Actually, we could take that, which is even softer, and then I couple that down. You can hardly hear the bass. Isn't that beautiful? It's lovely, isn't it? Now then, on the subject of flutes, up here on the 4th manual, we have some bizarre flutes. They're available at various pitches. We have a huge 8-foot flute, a flauto mirabilis, and it's enormous. And it's not swellable, so it's always that sound. So imagine you have your flute back down here, your concert flute. Then you have this concert flute, which is just basically a big fat version of it that says, "Hold my beer." So here's the original. Here's this one. It blows the socks off. And it's available at 8 foot, 4 foot, which is an octave higher, 2 foot, which is an octave higher, and 1 foot, which is an octave higher. So I have now 4 octaves of this amazing thing. So now I have I basically have an enormous calliope. Do you know what a calliope is? If you know what a calliope is, put it in the chat. Wonderful thing. Now, these flutes come with the flute celestes. Now, on their own, there are 2 stops called flute celeste 8. And that just sounds different, but here's the main one. Now, if you listen carefully, you can hear that this is slightly higher than this. That's slightly lower. When you have them together, they've got this undulating effect. It's very subtle. Okay, kind of nice. And that is available at 8 and 4 foot together. Why anybody would use that at 8 and 4 without it being swellable, I don't know. But anyway, there it is. This organ even has a couple of toys. It, of course, has a little celesta. How cute is that? And then it has something called a cymbalum, which is just basically a big rolling cymbal sound. Perfect for... How cool is that? This is for film music effects. If I'm doing sort of, what can I be doing? This is one for Disney, I think, isn't it? So we can do Disney effects with that. It's bizarre, but it's rather wonderful. Now, it has, of course, typical organ things that you'll find on any organ. It has one of the most beautiful vox humanae I have ever heard. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? I think that's beautiful. It has not 1 but 2 clarinets, this one. Now that's a proper clarinet. And then it has this thing, a solo clarinet, which is basically a free reed. It's a harmonium. And that's available at 2 octaves, 8 and 4. Now that sounds like an old squeeze box organ, doesn't it? So imagine you're sitting in church playing your... Sunday morning, the little old lady playing the hymns on an harmonium. You can do it here. Isn't that cool? You could do it with a celesta. It's just beautiful. I love it. That's going to be a short. I know that. I'm going to take that and use it as a short. Isn't that amazing? How beautiful is that? Right. This is an organ you can spend months with having fun. I just know. I just know. Now, it has reeds. Oh my goodness, it has reeds. Let's start with the really big stuff. It has a tuba. Get ready with the tubas, tubas, tubas. Now, it's not the biggest tuba in the world. It's a very sort of sedate and sort of, oh, I don't want to bother anybody tuba. But it's available at 8 and 4. And 16, 8 and 4. Ah, on. Isn't that delicious? And then it has a battery of trumpets. It has a trompette harmonique. Which is kind of French, but not quite. It has something that I think is more French. It has a fagot. I think that sounds more heart trumpety than the trumpet, don't you? Here's the trumpet again. And here's this fagot thing. Yeah, that is available. The trumpet is available at 16, 8 and 4. It's very subdued. Nice. But the bassoon, fagot and fagot 4 are available 16, 8 and 4 as well. I like that. It's amazing, isn't it? Now, fagot is traditionally an oboe sounding stop for an organ. No, we have an oboe as well. Which is rather nice. And it's available at 8 and 4, which is very, very rare indeed. Yeah, very rare, very, very, very rare indeed. Very exciting. We have a proper trumpet on the grate. So there's our big trumpet. But it's only available at 8 foot, which is rather bizarre. Rather bizarre indeed. Now, we can mix all of these together. So we can have our trumpet there. We can have our 2 oboes, our 3 fagots, our 3 big trumpets. Big sound, big sound. Now we need something down here in the old pedal department, don't we? By the way, my pedal camera is dead. Remember on Friday night it stopped working for some reason. Well, it's not working at all anymore. So don't know what we're going to do about that. I'm going to see if I can get it repaired. It's an old GoPro 7. Can you repair old GoPros or do you replace them? I don't know. What do you do? It's most annoying. I can't get it to work. Anyway, down on the pedal. So you won't be able to see my feet tonight. So I'm just wearing boring, what are they? Boring dark blue socks tonight. Nothing else. Now, down in the pedal department, we also have some stops, but not many, because most of them can be borrowed from other places in the organ. Here's a 16-foot posaune. Okay, big 16-foot Posano, which is great. And it has its 32-foot equivalent, and this is the only real 32-foot stop on the organ. It is the Contra Posano, 32-foot reed. Now, this is where things get rather confusing on this organ. If I want to, let's say I've got all my reeds on the Great manual here. Yeah? And I want to couple them down to the pedal. I can't. It's impossible. Because all of these things exist at various places throughout the organ, I can't do it. So what I have to do is I have to go down to the pedal stop division, which is this row at the bottom here, and I have to choose all of my trumpets and my bassoons and fagots and my oboes and all of my various bits and pieces. Where's my 16-foot trumpet? Why is the 16-foot trumpet not available on the piano? That makes no sense. On the piano? On the pedal. Makes no sense. But anyway, I just... Now, this is where pipe loops excels. And I will say excels because I love this word. Listen to this bottom note on the pedal. And when I let go of the note, listen to the room, okay? The microphones don't just pick up the pedal stops, they pick up the room size. Listen to this. I hope you're listening on headphones. You can really feel, I would love to know what kind of microphones Rainer uses. I think it's probably either something by DPA or something by Schoeps. One or the other. I don't think he's using anything by Neumann. He's definitely, I think it's DPA 4006 that he's using, because those are the only microphones I know of that can really... pick up the width and breadth of all these things. I'm guessing, I don't know. I will speak to Rainer and find out if I'm right there. Those are the only microphones I know that can do that. Now, I haven't added the tuba to that magnificent sound, so if I now add the tubas to that, then things get very, very crazy indeed. Big sound, big sound. I could go on for hours just going through all the bits and pieces found within this organ. There are some beautiful stops that you wouldn't sort of, normally imagine you would find in an organ like this, but they're so lovely, you have to find them. A quintatone stop on the swell division. That's quite rare, but rather lovely. A flute principal. There's a beautiful recording of this organ, posted recently, a couple of days ago, by my friend Ralph Loy over in Holland. And Ralph has a copy of this organ as well. And Ralph recorded a beautiful piece of music by Niels Gaida, who is a Danish composer, Wie schön leuchtet der Morgenstern. And rather than do what I, of course, do, when you get an enormous organ like this, you sort of, you get to full organ, where's my full organ, there it is, and you go. And you deafen people with it. But Ralph chose to get some of the softer stops and demonstrate those instead. And I think that's the sign of a magnificent musician. Well done, Ralph. Go and check out Ralph's video, people. It's absolutely wonderful. I can highly recommend it. Ralph is a brilliant organist and a brilliant ambassador for the world of Hauptwerk as well. Ralph is also a tester for quite a lot of sample set producers, so he knows these sets inside out. Much better than I do. Now, all the stops for the organ are in this part of the screen. This part of the screen at the top is basically witchcraft. This is what Gaida is famous for. He takes sort of the electronic possibilities and goes crazy with it. I will demonstrate that in another video. I'm not showing you any of that today. We'll be here all night and we won't get anywhere. Music, maestro, please. Now, we started off, we played a piece of music right at the beginning. It was my favorite and Alexander Wunderlich's favorite, Wunderschön Prächtige. A wonderful piece of music indeed, and great fun for playing this kind of music. It is basically a big old German romantic organ, and we should be playing big old romantic German music on it, which is why I'm going to play a modern hymn instead. A modern hymn instead. Ladies and gentlemen, we've been having a lot of copyright problems lately here on the channel, so I am being careful at the moment what I play, but don't worry, I think I have a solution. So more on that nearer the time. Oh, we have a couple of tickets come in already this evening. Alexander, Stefan, thank you very much. Werner, thank you very much. And Andrew, thank you very much indeed. That's very kind of you. And thank you also to Ursa Meyer for posting the link. Should you wish to treat us to a virtual ticket, there's a link up there. And oh my goodness, it's Mrs. Gartshore. Hello. Jetzt ja. Oh, so, oh no, oh, sorry. Oh, Vanessa's here. That's your job. Ta-da! There we are. Okay, that's the PayPal one. Do we do the PayPal one or do you want the Buy Me a Coffee one? I just did that. Habe ich gerade gemacht. Okay, willst du den Laptop mitnehmen?
Ich kann den mitnehmen. Ich muss aber gleich, glaube ich, füttern. Die ist sehr unruhig.
Ja? Okay. Soll ich noch behalten hier oben?
Wie du willst.
Okay. Say hello, Vanessa. Here's Vanessa's hand waving at you. There you go. All right. Well, Vanessa is going to go back downstairs. She just came up to say that the little one is now finally asleep, but it won't be for long because theoretically she's hungry. So she'll be coming back very soon, wanting something to eat. Brooks, thank you very much indeed to you. Very kind indeed. And actually, Brooks, in answer to your email, thank you for your email that you sent me earlier today. In answer to your email, a long time ago, you did send me a picture of your Hauptwerk setup, so I knew exactly what you had. You sent me that a long time ago, I remember. I'm quite good at remembering things, if I think it's important. That's naughty, isn't it? Right, here's a piece of music. Now, this is a piece of music. If any of you used to listen to Gert van Hoof and his live streams, Gert used to play this rather a lot. It's a very famous hymn around Western Europe, and it's lovely. It's absolutely lovely, and I think we should hear it. Oh my goodness, what's this? The Platz Gang. Oh, hello, Platz Gang. We don't see you in the chat this evening. The Platz Gang did a little something on Buy Me a Coffee. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much indeed. I'll post a link to that in a minute. I'll tell you about Buy Me a Coffee in a minute too. Yes, back to Gert van Hoof. Sadly, he doesn't do his live streams anymore, which I think is a shame because they were very popular and I loved listening to them. And but Gert regularly used to play this one. It's a very lovely, famous hymn, and it's actually an Italian hymn, but it's been sort of taken over by the Germans and the Dutch, and probably the Belgians, and I'm guessing the French. It's rather lovely. You can play around with it for hours, and it sounds something like, get back to the chat so I can see what you're talking about, something like this. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, Pan Lomito, our dear friend Chris, good luck. Chris told us that he might, fingers crossed for Chris, he might have found himself a job as a freelance architect, jawohl, in the wonderful world of Curacao. How cool would that be? Freelance architect. That would be kind of cool. So that's our friend Pan Lomito over in that beautiful part of the world. So good luck for you. And I'll dedicate this one to you. Chris, this one is for you. Herr, du bist mein Leben, Herr, du bist mein Weg. You recognize this under its Dutch title. What is its Dutch title? Tell us its Dutch title, please. And we've got it. By the way, this introduction here is from my friend Jeff, because he loves these James Bond style harmonies. That's the one, Herr, u bent mein Leben. Isn't that nice? It's a wonderful, yes, you're right, it's a big circle of fifths. That middle bit, which is rather fun. That's all. If you hear a circle of fifths, you will hear it everywhere. Yeah, that's true. It's in everything. It's in Autumn Leaves. It's in everything. But it's wonderful. It's why we love it. Our old friend Graham's Twist uses the circle of fifths in almost all his music. It's wonderful. Circle of fifths is great because you can sort of jump in anywhere and jump out anywhere you want on the circle of fifths. It's like a sort of a musical roundabout, literally a roundabout, circle of fifths. You can enter anywhere and exit anywhere you want. Very clever. Wonderful stuff indeed. Come on, folks, buy a ticket. I've not seen Fraser's iPad update. Ha! Andrew Prince, I love you. Thank you very much, Andrew. Now, Andrew already bought us a ticket this evening, so he's allowed to say that. Who does? Dominic. Thank you very much, Dominic. There we are. It was an extra from Dominic. So, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's a second one in there. So, that's 6 tickets this evening sold. That's that. Thank you very much indeed. Very kind of you all. Now we've got an extra little toy here that I want to show you. Well, it's not a toy, but it's something. Vanessa's been playing around with graphics. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. The bottom of the screen says purchase your virtual ticket here. Now it says join us on Buy Me a Coffee. Buy Me a Coffee. Has anyone got the Buy Me a Coffee link? Let me find it. I've got all my links here somewhere. La 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 la. La ba da ba dum 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 dum. Where the hell is the Buy Me a Coffee wish list? There it is. Oh no, it's just the Buy Me a Coffee. If I just do that, that should sort of, there you go. That should work. Tell me if this works, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, this is where we need a Vanessa. Everyone needs a Vanessa, don't we? There we are. Check that out. Boom. Does that work? If I click on it, does it work? Click. It works. It works. At the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we're kind of pushing Buy Me a Coffee. Buy Me a Coffee is it's an alternative to PayPal. Some people don't like PayPal. Nancy, oh, thank you very much, Nancy. That's very kind. Nancy has been very generous over the last little while. So thank you very much, Nancy. That's very kind of you. Yes, some people don't like PayPal. Nancy does. I don't buy tickets. I prefer to donate, says Panlomito. Also very kind. Thank you very much indeed. Yes, the Buy Me a Coffee is not like tickets and things like that. It's basically for, yes, like for donations. You can treat us to a coffee on the way past. Who dis? There's another. Who's this? Jan. Thank you very much indeed, Jan. Ah, some tickets are coming in now. That's good. Thank you very much. Yes, now Buy Me a Coffee is basically that. It's sort of a little tip jar, if you like. But you can do other things with it. You can become a member on Buy Me a Coffee, which is something rather exciting. Now, we set up Buy Me a Coffee a long time ago because, I have to tell you this because it's quite important. Back in a long time ago, somebody wrote me an email and said, I would like to donate something to the channel, but I want you to get as much as possible from my donation. I don't want all the fees. What would be the best way to do it? So, for example, if you buy what do you call it, a super chat here, yeah? 30% of that goes to YouTube. 30% of that goes to Google, basically. So 70% comes to us, to the channel. So, okay, that's fine. That's the highest fees, obviously. Next up is Patreon. Now we have Patreon, which also offers things like memberships and things like that. You can join us on a monthly basis or a yearly basis. And that, of course, has its administration fees, and the rest of the money comes over to us. That's the next one. The next best one is, believe it or not, PayPal, which just has sort of very sort of smallish fees. But the best one of them all is Buy Me a Coffee. Buy Me a Coffee has the least fees for the platform they have themselves, and most of the stuff comes over here. And then, of course, as Mirabilos, our friend, has just told us, a bank transfer. a bank transfer, that is definitely the best way to do it. Now, if you look at the description of almost every video we have, we're very trusting people. We've got our private bank details down there. And some people still use that and send us little donations, sometimes slightly larger donations, via our bank account. Now, that's very exciting indeed. Someone once wrote to me and said, if I send you money via bank transfer, does the tax office find out about it? And the simple answer is yes, the tax office finds out about it all the time. However, if you were to donate a 5-figure sum or larger in one sitting, the finance authorities, the tax office would find out about it immediately and demand 30% of it up front. So if you should wish to donate a huge amount of money, which, yes, dream on, then please get in touch with us first. And we will talk about the best way to do that. So there you are. So Mirabilos, yes, bank transfer, details below if you're interested in the descriptions. Otherwise, buy me a coffee or PayPal. Those are definitely the best way to get a little tip, ticket, or thank you across to us. Gosh, enough chat. Now, I saw something there about a funeral hymn. Who's this? Lucas. It's a wonderful hymn. I'm working in a funeral home, and this is a very gentle and pretty piece for a funeral. Oh, I see. Yes, I suppose you could. Yes, it's a lovely tune, a lovely melody for it. You're right. Next up in the hymn book is one of my favorites that very rarely gets played, so I'm going to play it for you now. It's called Suchen und Fragen, so searching and questioning. And it sounds a little bit like another one. Oh, who dis? Jerry. A tip from Jerry. Thank you very much indeed. Jerry has got some cryptic amounts in his donations at the moment. I'm trying to work out exactly what that is, but it's rather interesting. It's an interesting amount. I must speak to Jerry about that. Thank you very much indeed. Jerry, should you even be here, Jerry, you're supposed to be entertaining tonight. Jerry is working on something secret, and am I allowed to tell people about it, Jerry? Am I allowed to tell people? Keep an eye on Jerry and Jeremiah Martin. Keep an eye on Jerry Martin's channel. Let's just put it like that. Something exciting is coming. Okay, here we go. Suchen und Fragen. It sounds rather like another hymn, but it's rather lovely. And you may find there's a sort of half a circle of fifths in here. Let's see if you can notice it. Suchen und fragen, hoffen und sehen. Aube nouvelle dans notre nuit. That's what it was originally called. How does that fit to the words? Aube nouvelle dans notre nuit. Yeah, I suppose that fits. And then I don't know where it goes from there. A cute, very cute melody, very simple melody. And my goodness, you can have fun with it as well. This instrument really is rather fantastic. I rather love it. Gosh, I had a little sort of mental thing that I was playing away and I thought, ooh, there's something I meant to demonstrate. And then it left me again. I forgot. Damn it, what was I going to show it? Damn it, Janet, what was I going to be showing? I was running on the way past thinking, oh, I forgot to say that, I forgot to show them that. I can't remember what it was. That's my silly brain doing its thing. How are we doing over here? Any more Jerrys? No more Jerrys. Jerry is the last one. Thank you very much. We saw Panlomito, who said something was sent via bank. So thank you very much indeed. That's very kind of you. Very kind of you indeed. About a year ago, I was going to do a transfer to Fraser for 120 euros, but the bank were threatening to charge 20 euros. Adrian, that shouldn't be highly unlikely. Unless you bank with Coots, in which case I can imagine they would do that. But as they're closing everybody's accounts at the moment, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Where's my brown book of magnificence? It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the brown book of magnificence, which I don't have. It's tucked away in the cupboard. Let's go and find it. Let's go and find it. There it is. Sometimes I do tidy up this room. Vanessa will laugh when she hears me say that, but sometimes I do. Indeed I do. Indeed I do. Richter's Fantasie. Oh, good heavens. Alexander, Richter's Fantasie requires lots of different registrations, and yes, I will get round to that. I will get round to that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I was going to be demonstrating another organ this evening. As if this wasn't big enough. 4 manuals and I don't know how many stops does this organ have? It's sort of, that's a lot anyway. It's getting on for, well, it's well over 80 anyway. Very large organ. If that's not large enough, I have another new organ for Hauptwerk. It's 5 manuals and over 100 stops. So yes, I have manual envy. I only have 4, you see. And this new thing needs 5. Do I need a 5th manual? No, I'm too short for a 5th manual. I'm only about 5'10". I'm not the biggest person in the world, so a 5th manual I could reach, but then the music would be so far away I couldn't turn pages anymore. Does one need 5 manuals? You don't need 5 manuals. Nobody needs 5 manuals. It's just showing off, really, isn't it? Number 22 from the magnificent brown book of goodness, ladies and gentlemen, is this evening's treasure. Die Botschaft des Judas beachten. Oh my goodness me, it's all about watch out what Judas is saying. So let's watch out what he had to say. And actually, let's make that more menacing then. Because it's Judas, let's make it a bit menacing. Let's menace the organ up a bit. It's in G major, but let's play around with it and work our way towards it. Okay, here we go. I love those tunes, I really do. I still think it's a shame we don't know who wrote them. I know there's a very good reason for that, but I still think it's a terrible shame. Something I also think is a little bit of a shame on this organ is it doesn't have a real 32-foot rumble for the, you know. It's not bad. That's a 32-foot resultant 32-foot sound, echo bourdon, which is not bad, but it works on some notes. It works on a G like that. It doesn't work on an A for some reason. You can hear too much, you can hear too much that note, but the G it works really rather well. And what about the F? Oh, that's not too bad. E flat should be quite good. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, that's nice. And at least it is in my headphones. And I'm willing to bet the D is the nicest of the lot because I think the organ sings into a room that is a resonant D. Yes, it is. Shall we see what D flat is like? I'm willing to bet D flat's not bad, but it's definitely a... D is better. Yeah. Every room has its reverberant note, and a lot of churches, and I don't know why, I really don't know why, but a lot of churches resolve on a D. They reverberate on a D. So if you play Ds, they reverberate more than other notes. And this would definitely be the case here. Let's add another one of these. 32 foots. That one's not too bad. This one should be. That's pretty heavy. What about this one? Pretty heavy stuff, isn't it? Not bad. There's a very bizarre thing on here called a bassus magnus. Let me play the bassus magnus up here. That's kind of cool, isn't it? But what it is, it's basically the harmonic series. And if I play the very bottom note there, it's a harmonic series. Now I actually know what it. Actually, to be honest, there's a note missing. I would have added the ninth. I would have done this. I would have added that. It's not. It's only got those three. Yeah. It's how to do a resultant 32-foot reed. And what you need is you need a tierce, a quint, a seventh, and ideally a ninth. And you get sounds kind of cool, doesn't it? I love it. Woohoo! I love those kinds of things. Anyway, as you gather, I'm very impressed by this instrument. The big test of any instrument in my instrument arsenal is, can it play a piece of popular music, a piece of jazzy music? Let's find out. The answer is yes. It can play jazzy stuff nicely as well. I wonder, has anyone ever done that on the real Pauluskirche organ down in Ulm? Ulm. It's one of the only places in Germany that has that sort of one vowel, two consonant, sort of Ulm places. Ulm. You have to say it very carefully, otherwise it sounds like you're choking on something. Ulm. But yes, great fun indeed. Now, I see people talking about 32 and 64 foot stops and things like that. Now, yes, a 32 foot stop will go down to 16 hertz, that's true, which is below the threshold of normal human hearing, apparently. However, as Panlometer correctly says, you can feel it. You can definitely, was it Panlometer who said that? I think it was Panlometer who said it. Gunther, sorry, it was Gunther, oh, Gunther Meiser. Gunther Meiser knows exactly what he's talking about. Yes, Gunther is an expert on all things technical with all this. Yes, thank you. I need to get in touch with you again, Gunther, about lighting. Not happy with the lighting situation at the moment, so we need to get there. Anyway, we're saving up for new lights, by the way, folks, so yes. 32 foot stops, yes, down to 16 hertz. You can't necessarily hear it as such, but you definitely feel it. Now, the bigger the building and the louder the pipe, the more the sort of everything sort of starts moving. It's all about moving air, basically. Pipe organs move air. And obviously then, if a 32 foot pipe is at 16 hertz, a 64 foot pipe is an octave lower, so 8 hertz. Now obviously nobody can hear 8 hertz, absolutely nobody can hear it. We're talking infrasonic stuff here. However, you can definitely feel it, and to emphasize things like that, you have sort of the harmonic series to help you. Now, how does this work? The harmonic series, this is clever, yeah? You have, somebody asked me this recently, so let's just do it while we're talking about it. For example, let's find, what should we go with here? Do we have sevenths on this organ? I don't think we do. I think it only goes up to about, yeah, it only goes up to there. Right, so here we have, for example, let's go on the first manual, shall we? Let's have, no, let's do the second manual first of all. So we have this at 8 foot. Now, if I go down an octave, I'm going to play this key, but if I add 16, a sound an octave lower appears. If I press 32, a sound even lower appears. So I now have, I'm playing one key, 8, 16, 32. Got it so far? If I go 4, I now have this one, an octave higher. If I go 2, we have that one there. And if I had 1, I don't have a 1 foot, but I can cheat and do, where is it? Where is it? There. No, I'm on 2, aren't I? There. Okay, that would be cheating. So now I've got a 1 foot stop as well, okay? That doesn't exist, right. And those are only stops playing C, but the harmonic series is not built up of just notes like that. So let's go back to the things here. The harmonic series is built up of this note, followed by this note, followed by this note, which is now, sounds like a G, and then this note, and then this note, okay? Which is a third. Now if what I'm basically playing is I'm playing a C, another C, a G, a C, and an E. Okay? But however, they're not tuned like normal piano keys would be tuned. They're tuned according to the harmonic series, natural tuning. So the higher up I get, it sounds like some... You don't hear the upper sounds anymore, you just hear one nice crunchy sound. Okay, you hear a crunchy sound, and that's the harmonic series playing tricks with you. Now, if you transpose that an octave lower, then we would have 16. Let's go down here, 16, 8, then we'd have 5 and a third, then 4, then do we have 3 and a fifth? We don't have 3 and a fifth. Of course we don't have 3 and a fifth. We should have 3 and a fifth, and then we would have that one and that one. We're missing a 3 and a fifth. But anyway, what I've done is I've taken the harmonic series an octave lower, and I'm playing around with the lower harmonic series. Now, if I did it another octave lower down, I would be playing with the 32 foot harmonic series. And if you go down another octave, you're playing with the 64 foot harmonic series. Yeah, and there's only one organ in the world that actually has the 64 foot harmonic series mutation stops to play with. That's the incredible organ in, of course, Atlantic City Boardwalk Hall, which I hope to get to one day, and then I can demonstrate all these things for you, because it's an absolutely fascinating instrument. And the whole point of it is, the whole organ is built up around the harmonic series. And because that building is so enormous, and the pipes are all over the place, and if you've got sort of 10,000 people in there cheering and singing, any kind of organ isn't going to be loud enough for that. So if you want the organ to be louder without adding, you know, more pipes and more ranks and louder things, then you add harmonic series to emphasize the fundamental tones. Does this make any sense? And you get volume that way. Does that make sense? I hope it does. If not, then just ignore me, because I'm just talking rubbish. No, I'm not actually. I'm talking harmonic acoustics. When I studied at university, one of my favorite courses was acoustics of music. And two absolutely crazy guys, Murray Campbell, who was from Dingwall, Ian. Murray apparently went to school with my dad. My dad went to school in Dingwall. Dingwall Academy, it sounds terribly posh, doesn't it? And Murray Campbell also went to Dingwall Academy. And he was a mad physicist. And his friend Clive Grated. Clive was a Cockney sloth, basically. He's very, very slow and talked like that all the time. Now, if we look at the harmonic series, and he was a posh Cockney by his way of it, and he would talk like that all the time. And Murray was, you know, this little guy. He would talk with his little Invernessian accent, and he would go on and on and on and on all the time. Murray, and it was just the bizarrest double act in the world. But I loved it so much because they explained everything about the science of music, which was just wonderful. They wrote a book together called The Musician's Guide to Acoustics. I still have it somewhere in the loft. If you can find it, buy it. It's the definitive guide to how sound works scientifically. There you are. I'm talking rubbish, aren't I? I'm rambling. Tonight's a ramble night. Hello, everybody. We're rambling. You can do subsonics with different tones. Yes, that's exactly what I'm just talking about. Yes, you do you make up. That's what this thing is. This bassus magnus. These are the notes of the 32-foot harmonic range. So the lower I go, you don't hear the notes anymore, you just hear the 32-foot rumble, yeah? If you did those notes an octave lower, then you would have a harmonic 64-foot stop. That's what it's all about. Resultant. Ooh. So there you are. You can basically make up sounds without actually using a pitch. That's a video for another day. Let's get back to the music. Music, maestro. That's a song called music. See what that sounds on this. Oh my goodness me, it can definitely be a theatre organ too. You can couple things up to the fourth manual. How cool is that? And then you can add... I love it. Oh my goodness me. Right. I think ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm beginning very, very, very quickly to have a new favorite organ here on Hauptwerk. This is madness. Let me once again demonstrate one of my most beautiful favorite effects. Hold on. Ooh, I know what we can do. We can go crazy here. Oh, right. Ladies and gentlemen, spontaneous ideas for fun. How about this? This could be interesting. Let's go back to some big band style, but soft big band style. Strings together with, have I got 3 to 2? Have I got 3 to 2? Where's 3 to 2? 3 to 2 is there. Right, listen to this. I don't want 3 down, I want that down, I want that down. And that should be good. Yes, it works! Ladies and gentlemen, strings and vox humana make for one of the most beautiful sounds on any organ. Oh my goodness, check this out. I think we need some soft and gentle, ballady kinds of music here. Check this out. Okay, that was very spontaneous. Isn't that beautiful? There's an old trick. If you have an organ, a sort of a symphonic organ or a romantic organ, you take the vox humana, which is this, which is that magnificent thing. You add the strings, and all the strings you can get, and then if you have it, you take what's called an octave coupler, which means I'm not just playing this, I'm also playing the octave higher as well. Oh my God, that's just too much for my tiny brain. You could theoretically add the lower octave as well to get this. Mrs. Gartshore has arrived in the room, close to midnight. Hello. Are you coming to say hello?
Yeah.
Is she sleeping? Have you finally put her down to sleep? I hear Shiloh's eating as well in the background. Poor Shiloh, he's so jealous at the moment. Our little bundle of joys made him all jealous. But he still are.
Sie mögen sich nicht besonders.
They're not the best friends, Bundle of Joy and Shiloh, unfortunately. But never mind. That's life, as Frank Sinatra said. People are talking about Je t'aime and other music like that. Yes, well, copyright, folks, copyright. I'm being very careful at the moment what I play because copyright is going bananas at the moment. So everything's either hidden behind a melody or not played at all to get rid of copyright. But I have a legal solution, believe it or not. And isn't that cool? I beg your pardon? I don't know, Vanessa. How was it this evening? Vanessa's asking, how was it this evening? So, ladies and gentlemen, you have 1 minute. How was it this evening? Vanessa's asking. Vanessa wants to know. What else do you want to know, Vanessa? Did you enjoy this evening's concert? What else do you want to know, Vanessa? Oh, she says we don't want to stress you. There you are. Okay. Anything else you need to know? No? Vanessa's not asking her usual question. Vanessa's usual question is how many tickets were sold? That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tickets were sold during this evening's performance. We had 1 donation to buy me a sorry, that's not true. We had 2 donations to buy. Oh, Chris, thank you very much. Chris, hope this helps. It definitely does. Thank you very much, Chris. Chris also donated to buy me a coffee. That's very kind of you indeed. And I beg your pardon. Cam unfortunately is in the background this evening. Cam is in the background this evening. Oh, and yes, and actually, yes, sorry, there is something we need to mention. Remember a couple of months ago we did a concert for our friends in space, remember? A concert dedicated to Frank Rubio up on the International Space Station, an actual NASA astronaut. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got news from Frank and from Frank's wife to tell us that, yes, they watched our live stream from the International Space Station. How cool is that? So, ladies and gentlemen, we are the first organ channel to be played in space. How cool is that? It is now official. The Gartshore Gang is live in space. So we are not only on planet Earth, we are orbiting above planet Earth. Isn't that cool? Vanessa didn't know that. I forgot to tell Vanessa that. I forgot to tell her that. I'm terribly sorry about that. So yes, so it's true. The Gartshore Gang is not only international, we are universal. So I think that's absolutely wonderful. It is definitely wonderful. Mike King, PayPal account isn't working. So go to Buy Me a Coffee, Mike King. You don't need PayPal for Buy Me a Coffee. Ha 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 ha. There's always a way. Anyway, so isn't that exciting news? We are not only an international channel, we are a universal channel. I think that's the coolest thing in the world. No, it's the coolest thing in the universe. Ta-da! At least in the solar system. Okay. Any other questions, Vanessa? Does anyone have any questions for Vanessa this evening? Anyone want to know anything for anyone else? Yes, the endless river. Thank you very much. You're quite right indeed. The stream was awesome. I've listened to the concert at least 20 times since then. That's very kind of you. Thank you. But the copyright trolls are everywhere. Yes, that's the problem. Copyright trolls. Encounters of the third kind. Okay. Encounters of the third kind. Where's that not working? Here it is. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yes, Schäferhund is here this evening. Schäferhund is there. Vanessa says hi, Schäferhund.
Hi, Schäfer.
Hi, Schäferhund. Oh my goodness me. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ich sag allen Hi und allen dann wieder Tschüss.
Vanessa says hello to everyone and then she says good night to everyone. Vanessa's going to bed.
Nee, ich esse
Vanessa.
jetzt noch einen Kuchen.
Oh, we're going to, oh, apparently we're going to, oh, really?
Ja, wir haben auch noch Kuchen und Apfelkuchen.
Oh my God, right. Big treat, ladies and gentlemen. After the concert this evening, we're going to go downstairs and we're going to have cake. Midnight cake. That's exciting.
Ursa Mayo. Heute kannst du sagen, ich habe noch keine Smarties gehabt, sondern ich esse jetzt.
Ursa, hast du gehört? Komm mal näher und sag das nochmal.
Nee, das sage ich jetzt.
Keine Smarties.
Ich habe noch keine Smarties für heute gehabt, nein.
Vanessa has not eaten any Smarties today, which is why we're going downstairs to have cake.
So.
Yes, okay. This is very exciting. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for Sunday night as organ music night. We didn't have a theatre organ in this evening's programme, but we had this, which kind of sounds like a theatre organ, doesn't it? It's a wonderful instrument. Go and check it out. There's a link to it there somewhere in the chat, and if anyone can find it again, put the link in, please. It's by Pipe Loops, and it's the new Link, haha, get it, Link, and Gaida organ from the Pauluskirche, St. Paul's, in Ulm, down in the south of Germany. It's absolutely wonderful, an amazing instrument, and if you're in the market for a new Hauptwerk organ, I definitely suggest going and buying it. It's not even all that expensive considering the size of the instrument. Very, very reasonably priced. So, go and check it out. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to disappear. I'm getting that look from Vanessa in the background. So, we will see you very soon. There will be more videos on this instrument coming very soon to a channel very close to you. And yes, I'm going to force the fact now, I'm just going to mention that all the time, that we've been in space. The Gartshore Gang live in space. See you, folks.